All single toilet bathrooms should be unisex. What is the point of a separate toilet if there is only one? Sure, if it's a large public bathroom, let's make them gender specific. But if it's just a single toilet, then why the F does it need to be gender specific? I use the women's toilet if it's just a single toilet if the men's is occupied. I'm not waiting because some sign says women's when literally nobody can get in the bathroom if I'm in it. I'm a teacher. One of the few staff restrooms on campus consists of a keyed door that goes into a little hallway with a bench, and then doors to the separate men's and women's restrooms. There's no urinal in the men's room, so it isn't really a men's room. The only difference is the little trash can by the toilet in the women's. So why not put the same trash can in both, and make both unisex? Women use the men's one all the time, but if a man uses the women's one, he looks like an asshole. I've never really had to wait for the men's room, but I've seen crazy lines for the women's room. I feel like this is not a good idea for us dudes. Women's and men's bathrooms are equally disgusting for completely different reasons. You don't want to mix them like that. Trust me, I used to be a janitor. I, a woman, happily use single toilet men's rooms to avoid waiting. The immediacy is worth having to touch the toilet seat to lower it. So true. Once I had to go so bad and I had been waiting 15 minutes for this woman to get out, so I just used the men's. When I got out she was still in. And I got out about 5 minutes after I got in. I thought I agreed with this while reading it. Then I remembered that the lines at men's rooms are way shorter, BC men pee way faster. If the bathrooms were unisex we would have both taken up by women who need to sit to pee, and that's an inconvenience I don't want to deal with. Unpopular. Personally never seen a single gender bathroom with only one toilet, besides ones with urinals as well. But I live in Canada, so maybe it's different here. I work in a place that had 2 single washrooms that were unisex. We ended up having to make a male/female separation because both men and women would continuously not figure out how to lock the door properly, which meant that women walked in on half-naked men and vice versa. As you can imagine, this did not go over well with those who were literally caught with their pants down. The only issue I could see is that 90% of the time I go into a male cubicle there is piss all over the seat. Every time I need a no. 2 in public I'm having to wipe down the seat then line it with paper before I use it. It is a pretty disgusting norm and I would rather vote against unisex stalls for this reason. I have to clean up after others and I accept that. I'd rather spare the MRS. And my daughter the hassle though. As a man, if I were a woman I would never want to pee in a men's room. Women's bathrooms are, usually, busier, so that would mean everyone had an equal weight indifferent to gender. It's just the fact that the CJ system will see men as a predator when they walk into a women's bathroom. Then society blames all guys as predators and the circle continues. Meh, I could deal without the grossness of women's bathrooms, thanks. I've never heard of or seen a bathrooms with a single toilet that was gender specific. We men don't want to share our clean bathrooms with women. Edited for clarity. Finally, an unpopular opinion. I accidentally went into the women's bathroom a few years ago at a local restaurant. For some reason, the lack of an urinal didn't faze me. Worked at a gas station and we had 2 single-person bathrooms, one for each gender. But if some was in one, and the other is open, we'd just tell you can just use the women's/men's, it really doesn't matter. Most of the time they'd be like, bet. I feel like most places with this setup operate similarly. I don't want women using the men's bathroom. It would feel kinda creepy if I'm being honest. Then comes the problem of women taking ages in the toilet like whyyyyyyyyyy. Just keep them separated, and if one is definitely empty then go there. Here in Sweden they are. I agree with this. Toilets can be safe spaces, especially for women being harassed by men. We've probably all seen or heard stories of pervs taking out their junk in public, showing it to women and children, masturbating on public transport. Even if they don't pull out their dick, some men, and I'm a man myself, are asshole, who don't accept _no_, follow and harass women, threaten them or even worse. Some dickheads even install cameras in public toilets, filming women doing their _business _. I've heard these stories so many times, and as a man I can't even imagine what it must feel like when someone follows me when I clearly don't want his presence. In situations like these, maybe at a bar or club, women often flee to a bathroom, because they know, if the guy enters it, he'll probably be kicked out. Also there most certainly are other girls in the bathroom, who can help. So, yeah, a toilet can be a safe space for some women, and I think we shouldn't take this away from them, especially in clubs, bars, schools. I was literally about to post this cause I got yelled at by a lady who saw me coming out of a women's bathroom with a single toilet. I told her I was trans and she STFU haha. Because having separate single toilet bathrooms still cuts down on waiting time. Women generally take longer in the bathroom. Plus, I've seen the way guys treat their public restrooms, and it's gross. I'd rather stick to separate women's restrooms as they're often cleaner. As a man, from my experience most guys piss on the seat because they don't bother to lift it up. That's why bathrooms are separate, because we piss on the seats and women, theoretically, don't. The women just want to keep their bathroom clean. I don't blame them. Have you seen men's bathrooms vs women's? Some men are clean, but a lot of us really screw up the place. I live in Oregon, a very liberal state, and I honestly thought all single toilet restrooms in public places were unisex. I live in California, where a lot of businesses now have unisex labels on single restrooms that used to be male and female. But I wish the signage gave some clue as to which one has a urinal in it. Lets guys who are peeing have the option of avoiding the toilets altogether, and that keeps things cleaner. This is law in California. https://www.shrm.org/resources and tools/legal and compliance/state and local updates/pages/California Equal Restroom Access Act. ASPX. I thought they already were. Especially in small cafes and restaurants. I agree with you mostly. I think the only reason that it's frowned upon is the idea that a creep could set up a hidden cam without any resistance in a unisex bathroom. If it's female only, it at least brings attention that something's going on when a dude is seen coming out of it. But yeah, I still think it's generally a good idea just to have a couple single bathrooms. Just have it be designed so that it's difficult to hide spy cams and to check for them when it gets cleaned. I agree with this one wholeheartedly. I have friends that are trans who have had more than one difficult experience with bathrooms, single toilet bathrooms that are gendered, and I have to say that a shitter is a shitter, and that's basically all it boils down to. If you're a man, avoid using female toilet in South Korea and Japan if you like to not be on the camera while taking a piss. There should be gender-neutral toilets everywhere TBF. Clarification, not to replace male and female toilets but to have another set of toilets. If it's a single washroom, I ignore the gender sign and use whichever one is empty. When you gotta go, you gotta go. How about this one? Everyone should just worry about theirs. My store labels are single-person restrooms as male and female to discourage couples from having sex in them. Cause women don't always wanna be wiping piss off the seat, and men don't always wanna see used tampons, blood, hair, and nails strewn about. And don't come at me telling me that's not how shit is. I've fucking lived it. Toilets should not be gender specific, but mission specific. Sit or stand. I believe all bathrooms should be unisex. Why in the fuck should men have to be able to watch each other pee? I don't know how this works everywhere, but I know in Canada if it's a single toilet in a room and no stalls, legally you need to allow both men and women to use it. Ran into this problem at a Tim Hortons once, where my ex-BF was using the men's room, single toilet, and I was waiting for him. Another man came up and asked if I was waiting for the restroom, and I explained my BF was in the men's but the women's was free, so he's more than welcome to use it. He goes in, up comes a woman, and I say, hold on, that bathroom is occupied. She scoffed at me and proceeded to walk into the women's. Doofus left the door unlocked and gasps and goes, there's a man in there. I said, yes, I did clearly warn you it was occupied. She tried to report him to management and they basically told her to F off. Women will be required to start an egg timer before entering. I use whichever one is unoccupied tbh, like why would I wait for the one marked women's to be free, when the men's one has the door wide open and I can see the toilet. I don't want to share a bathroom with women, they pee on the seats, because then men put cameras in there. I hate sharing public toilets with men because most men pee on the floor and on toilet seats. Gross. So, if you're a man and use women's toilets, just ensure to wipe out after yourself. Men can leave cameras there. It has happened already. They are. If it's a single toilet bathroom, ignore the sign on the door. The bathrooms at my local grocery store are like this, men's and women's on the door, but each is a single person bathroom. If the men's is occupied, I use the women's. If you've ever used the men's room in a bar, as a woman, because fuck security you just gotta pee, you'd understand. Men's public restrooms are disgusting. There is literally pee everywhere. There was a bar that had only one bathroom, unisex, and there was pee on the floor, on the walls. I just don't understand how there could be pee everywhere. I agree, but it does open up opportunities for perverts to set up spy cameras. Popular opinion. Pander to the 0.1% of trans or whoever want gender-neutral toilets, and you reduce the rights of actual biological women, you know the other 50%. Toilets are more than just a place to defecate.